LaMelo Ball can ball. He's the player we were promised Lonzo Ball would be. But while Lonzo Ball is passive, he's a facilitator. LaMelo Ball is a stone cold killer, in case y'all haven't been paying attention. He attacks, he's not scared to shoot. He wants to shoot, even if he's missing.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. I don't know if LeVar Ball said something to Lonzo Ball to get him to tick, or if it was the fact that his brother LaMelo is having a significantly better rookie season than he did and is taking the NBA by storm. I don't know if all of the analysts, skeptics, and Twitter warriors are starting to get to Lonzo Ball's head, or if Fred Vinson just changed a little hitch in his jump shot to make him one of the best and most productive three-point scorers in all of February. And as great as this might be, as remarkable as it is, because I'm sure many of us, myself included, have been rooting for Lonzo Ball from the get-go, even when Magic Johnson came out and said, hey, don't break too many of my records, before inevitably having him traded 2 years later. Although that was Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson stepped down at that point. You guys get what I'm saying. Here's the thing. While Lonzo Ball is finally peaking, he might be peaking at one of the most peculiar times for the New Orleans Pelicans. And this could be a good thing, and at the same time, this could be an absolutely horrible thing for the New Orleans Pelicans. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you take a look at Lonzo Ball's shooting over the past month, he has made 43% of his threes. Now, I'm sure you've seen these famous Twitter statistics as well, where they say Lonzo Ball has made more threes than Trae Young. Lonzo Ball has made more threes than Devin Booker, who has made his name as a three-point sniper originally in college before evolving into a scoring threat like he is. So what is the dilemma that the New Orleans Pelicans have? Before we get to all of that, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If we get to 5,000 likes, I'm going to continue our daily upload streak of about 6 days so far. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, because the more followers I have on Instagram, the less likely I am that women ignore my DMs. And check to see if you're subscribed. If this is like your third video, you clearly like the channel, so subscribe and turn on my notifications. Now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. One of the toughest decisions we need to make in terms of personal responsibility is making sure we choose the proper bank account for us, because most of these banks could be very scummy. They can hit you with overdraft fees, they hit you with a ton of hidden fees, and they could even close your bank account if you don't have enough money in it. That's why I personally recommend Current. Current is a mobile bank account that has no minimum balance, no overdraft fees, and most importantly, no hidden fees. This premium credit card right over here could get you paid up to 2 days faster, which is kind of game changing considering how volatile the stock market and cryptocurrency market is. Getting your money 2 days quicker could be the difference between making a game changing investment or missing out on a game changing investment. You could also connect your Current card to Cash App or Venmo. They also work with Apple Pay, and they are a very trusted bank by me. Click the link in the description down below if you want to sign up for Current, and thank you to Current for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? So in the very beginning of the year, if you looked at Lonzo Ball's three-point statistics, the man was shooting 33% from three. Up until February. Once February hit, that number ballooned up to 37%, and at this point, at the time that I'm making this video, Lonzo Ball is making 39% of his threes on 7.8 three-point attempts per game. In fact, 62.6% of his field goal attempts have come from beyond the arc, which is amazing because this is a guy whose jump shot 2 years ago was literally a meme. And with that broken jump shot, he was able to sink 30.5% of his threes from deep. Every time I would look at Lonzo Ball's statistics, his most basic statistics, which is not necessarily the way I grade the value of a player, but it is how I try to track their improvement. His numbers seem to have stagnated, and finally, in year 4, his numbers seem to have appreciated. He's currently averaging 14.4 points, 4 total rebounds, 5.1 assists, shooting the aforementioned 39% from 3 while attempting 7.8 threes per game. But what's even more impressive is he's doing this after a transition to an offense that was never necessarily suited for his skill set. Stan Van Gundy turned the pace down for the New Orleans Pelicans from 2nd last year to 17th this year. So Lonzo Ball is now productive in a half-court setting, which is, I can't stress the importance of this. This was extremely important for Lonzo, because if he didn't do something, he was on the verge of finding himself on a new team next year, signing for possibly the mid-level exception. Now, after betting on himself and turning down a below-market contract extension from the New Orleans Pelicans, Lonzo Ball holds all the leverage entering his restricted free agency. You're already hearing of multiple teams gearing up to try to trade for him. Up until this point, and I don't think these rumors still exist, otherwise there'd be a separate video for them, but I've seen Lonzo Ball linked to the Chicago Bulls, the New York Knicks, the Golden State Warriors, in the form of a trade within the last month and a half. And now that Lonzo's value appreciated this much, the New Orleans Pelicans have a dilemma. You see, what do you do with Lonzo Ball now that he is a significantly better player? Do you have any plans of retaining him? Will you match any bloated contract, which, by the way, the New York Knicks see Lonzo Ball in restricted free agency. They're going to give him an absurd amount of money to try to bring him over to New York. That's just the type of move that the Knicks are prone to doing, but I guess under the Leon Rose regime, they might be a little bit more logical. I just can't help but feel like some team is going to look at Lonzo Ball and say, hey, this is a big name. This is a player that's extremely marketable, and pay him extra money to get his talents, which are remarkable talents to have, but also have the Lonzo Ball name on the team. Believe me, if New York comes calling, LeVar Ball will do everything it takes to get his son in a large market. So the dilemma is, now that Lonzo Ball has improved his value this much, should the New Orleans Pelicans trade him? And that really depends on how much money are you willing to pay Lonzo Ball? Are you willing to try to work out an extension with Lonzo Ball? Because losing Lonzo for absolutely nothing in restricted free agency would be an absolute kill shot to the New Orleans Pelicans, especially after investing so much in him, getting him a shooting coach to completely remake his jumper, turning him into a three-point sniper. At the end of the day, I think the New Orleans Pelicans are the perfect home for Lonzo. The spotlight isn't solely on him. He isn't the best player on the team. He isn't responsible for all the scoring. He's more of a complementary player than the player that the offense flows through, but he could take over and have the offense flow through him by getting other teammates involved whenever he is asked to do that. Regardless, seeing Lonzo Ball's value balloon up until this point is really nice to see, and I'm so happy that he's finally harnessing his potential. As a matter of fact, if he bulks up a little bit more, I think he'd be the most complete version of himself because he'd have the ability to drive in a little bit more successfully. Any player that's a threat from three, has a tremendous basketball IQ, and has a good ability to finish at the rim is probably destined to become an all-star at some point. So let me know in the comment section down below, if you're the New Orleans Pelicans, what do you do with Lonzo? Do you try to retain his services because some team is definitely going to offer this guy so much money in the offseason? Or do you try to trade him because you know you're not willing to overpay to retain his services even though you just developed him into what he is? Let me know what your take is in the comment section down below, and make sure you take some time to click our link in the description down below to try Current today. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.